So I had planned on doing a hang today. One of my tree huggers is missing, and the line that I had was not sufficient to keep the hammock up and not have it fall down. So I have to rethink my gear system because I think I left it in a different backpack. So we won't be doing that. We'll probably come back tomorrow to do that. What we are going to do is just do a quick intro for the series of videos I'll be doing over the course of the warmer months of 2016. I have a couple of things that are lined up. Next week I will either be in the Adirondacks on a Nezra expedition or scouting out the areas I was working in Vermont. The trip after that will be about 2 weeks after that. That one will be in Vermont, doing the scouting if it doesn't work out for next week. And on the 20th of May, I have planned an expedition into the Rutland area of Vermont to follow up on some activity over the years it's been up in there. There's been a couple of sighting reports and the like, so I'll be up in that area at that point. As the year goes on, I will be getting back into the area in the southern Green Mountains I was working in last year, a little bit to the south of where I was last year, I think, for the most part, but I'll be trying to get in there at least every other week for as many trips as that'll allow me to do, and hopefully it'll be a successful season. So that's what I have in mind. I may do a segment tomorrow from a hanging spot, doing a quiet listening in kind of thing from this location, which, as you can see, is a rather nice meadow. I call this area the high meadow, or at least the first high meadow. There's another one about a half a mile to the west of here. But we'll do that tomorrow with any luck, and we'll see you then. Thanks for continuing to tune into my channel. This is Mike, and we'll see you as the videos get made. Thanks. Location in the Green Mountains, and I'm scanning around because I thought I had just heard something, and the one thing I'm kind of leery of up here is coming across a surprising close-up encounter with a moose. And no sooner than I thought I might have encountered a moose, I looked down, and there's a moose track. So I'm not sure how fresh it is exactly, but interesting coincidence. This is basically where I am today. In our second segment, this is where we are today. We're walking along an old logging road in the Green Mountains. This is one of my favorite spots to be on the southern tier of the area. Hello, bumblebee. That is a bumblebee buzzing my head. Where we are right now is, for the Northeast, pretty good example of the middle of nowhere, because we're probably one of our Nezra members in the past had an odometer on them, and I think we're about 2 miles from what constitutes the gate, quote unquote. And this is basically beaver pond and moose country. I have seen moose tracks today. Not sure how fresh they are. You're hearing things moving around in the brush in there. I've already confirmed that it's basically the wily sparrow or some kind of small bird. They have a nest in there. Tracks of some other kind of quadruped, canid looking thing. I have pictures of the tracks. I'll throw them up on Facebook later to get input. I'm not really sure what they are. 2 different sets, 2 different animals, one possibly trailing or tracking the other one. I'm debating whether I tell the rest of the day's story as it involves potential pebble throwing, and a couple of footsteps heard moving off into the distance. Nothing visual, but I did have an interesting moment already today, so part of the reason I'm going to film the rest of the way home should something actually mess up and pop itself into the picture. Not sure if the glasses are getting this, but it's definitely like peeper mating season, because as you walk by certain spots, there's no shortage of peeper noise. Lots of happy horny frogs doing what happy horny frogs do. As you can see, it's not a horrible day out here. It's pretty beauteous, actually. When I say beaver pond, I say that because here is the actual beaver dam. And notice the difference in the water level. I guess this portion would be considered the actual beaver pond. But it's also, if you want a safety tip real quick, not the best place to drink the water if you don't have filtration, because Giardia is literally known as beaver fever, and there you go. It's about as close to beaver leavings as you're going to be. And if you look down along here, you can kind of see the moose trail. They're not the biggest tracks, so I'm gonna hazard a guess. It's probably a cow versus a bull. Is basically what I would consider northern or initial recon of this area. The area that I was in most of the summer last year is probably 10 to, actually more like 12 to 15 miles north of here. We're actually south at this point, what I would call the southern tier of the Green Mountains in the area that I get into.